Have you ever gotten paid and felt broke by the end of the same week? Not because you're lazy, not because you don't work hard, but because the moment the money lands, it's already gone rent, bills, groceries, gas, and somehow there's nothing left for you. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Millions of people are trapped in the same cycle, working full-time every single week and still living paycheck to paycheck. But here's the question that changes everything. What if the problem was never how much you earn, but how you were taught to handle it? Stay with me, because what you're about to see isn't just a story. It might be your story, and by the end, you'll know exactly what to do about it. Here is a story of a guy called Alex. Alex could be anyone: a delivery driver, a nurse, a teacher, a warehouse worker, someone who wakes up before the sun, works hard all day, and comes home exhausted. Alex isn't lazy. Alex isn't irresponsible. In fact, Alex works harder than most people they know. 12-hour shifts, double shifts on weekends, always saying yes to overtime. And yet, every 2 weeks, the same story repeats. The paycheck arrives, and within days, it's gone. Rent takes the biggest bite, then utilities, then a car payment for the vehicle that gets them to work. By the time the essentials are covered, there's maybe $60 left, and that's before groceries. Alex has a mental math routine most people would recognize instantly. Can I afford this? Will this bounce? Do I have enough gas to get to Friday? Sound exhausting? It is. Because living paycheck to paycheck isn't just a financial state, it's a full-time mental burden, running in the background of every single decision. Quick question for you watching this. How many financial decisions do you make in a day without even realizing it? Drop a number in the comments, you might be surprised. Then there's the social side of money, the part nobody talks about enough. Alex's friends are planning a weekend getaway. Everyone's excited. Everyone's in, except Alex, who quietly does the math and knows there's no way to afford it without going into debt. So, what does Alex do? The same thing millions of people do every day. Says yes anyway. For a few hours, it feels good. It feels normal. Like keeping up, like belonging. But 2 weeks later, the credit card bill arrives, and that fleeting joy is replaced by a familiar, heavy dread. This is the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle in its purest form. Work hard, get paid, spend to cope or to belong, run out of money, feel stressed, repeat, is greater than. It's not because Alex doesn't care about the future. It's because no one ever taught Alex how to plan for one. Nobody sat Alex down and said, here's how money actually works. Be honest with yourself for a second. Have you ever spent money you didn't really have just to feel like you belonged? That's not weakness. That's human. But it's also learnable to change. Keep watching. Then, one ordinary Tuesday, something happens that changes everything. Alex's neighbor, a hardworking single parent, someone Alex had coffee with, someone who worked just as hard, maybe harder, gets evicted. Not because they were careless,
Dad.
not because
But
they
I'm
didn't
tired.
work, but because one expected expense, a medical bill, was enough to collapse everything. Alex stands in the hallway, watching boxes being loaded into a truck, and feels something shift. Because Alex realizes something terrifying. That could be me. One car repair, one medical bill, one missed week of work, and I'd be in the exact same position. That night, Alex doesn't sleep well. Instead, they sit at the kitchen table, staring at that same stack of bills, and asks a question for the very first time. Why does this keep happening to me even though I work so hard? This is the moment so many of us avoid. The moment of honest self-reflection. When was the last time you asked yourself that same question? If it's been a while, maybe now's the time. The next few days, Alex does something different. Instead of numbing the stress with another scroll session or another impulse purchase, Alex starts searching for answers. They stumble onto a simple idea that hits like a lightning bolt. It's not about how much you make. It's about what you do with what you make. It's greater than. It sounds almost too simple. But Alex realizes something profound. They had never once tracked where their money actually went. Not once. They just reacted paycheck in, expenses out, whatever's left, gone. That night, Alex makes a decision, not a grand, dramatic one, but a quiet, powerful one. I'm going to figure out exactly where every dollar goes. And then, I'm going to decide where it goes next, instead of letting it decide for me. This is the turning point. Not a lottery win, not a raise, not a rescue. Just a decision to take control. This is the part I want you to remember most. Financial freedom rarely begins with more money. It begins with a decision. Something to think about before we continue. Alex starts small. No fancy spreadsheets, no financial advisor, no expensive courses. Just a notebook, a free app, and brutal honesty. Step 1. Track every expense for 30 days. No judgment, just observation. By the end of the month, Alex is shocked. Nearly $180 a month was quietly disappearing into small, forgettable purchases. Coffee runes, delivery fees, subscriptions never used. This is the first lesson Alex learns, and one of the most important lessons in personal finance. You don't have a money problem. You have an awareness problem. Is greater than. Once you can see where your money goes, you finally have the power to redirect it. Try this yourself this week. Track every single expense for 7 days, no exceptions. You might be shocked at what you find. Let me know in the comments once you do. With awareness comes a plan. Alex learns a simple framework, nothing complicated, just needs, wants, and savings. Needs first: rent, utilities, groceries, transportation. Then savings even before wants. Alex starts with just $20 a paycheck. It feels almost pointless at first, but it's not about the amount. It's about building the habit. Then, whatever's left goes to wants guilt-free, because now it's planned, not impulsive. Alex also starts cutting the unnecessary, canceling 2 unused subscriptions, brewing coffee at home 3 days a week, cooking simple meals instead of ordering out. None of this feels heroic. It's not glamorous. It's small, boring, repetitive discipline. But that's exactly the point. Wealth isn't built through big dramatic moves. It's built through small, consistent decisions, repeated until they become who you are. Of course, it's not easy. When Alex says no to another expensive night out, a friend jokes, "Come on, live a little. You only live once." Alex feels the old pull, the fear of missing out, the fear of judgment. But this time, Alex remembers the eviction, remembers the stack of bills, remembers the decision made that sleepless night. So, instead, Alex suggests a free alternative, a walk in the park, a potluck at home. Some friends understand, a couple don't, and that's okay. Growth sometimes means outgrowing habits and even relationships that don't align with who you're becoming. 6 months in, something remarkable happens. For the first time in years, Alex doesn't panic when the car needs a $300 repair. There's a small emergency fund to cover it. No credit card, no borrowing, no spiral. That single moment calm instead of panic is worth more than any luxury Alex ever bought on credit. Ask yourself, what would it feel like to handle an unexpected bill without stress? That feeling isn't out of reach. It's built one habit at a time, and Alex is proof. But let's be honest, this journey isn't a straight line. A few months later, Alex faces an unexpected medical expense that eats most of the emergency fund in one shot. For a moment, the old fear creeps back in. What's the point? I'm right back where I started. But this time, something is different. Alex doesn't spiral into hopelessness or abandon the plan. Instead, Alex simply starts again. Rebuilds the fund, $20 at a time. Because here's the truth nobody tells you. Financial discipline isn't about never having setbacks. It's about how quickly you recover from them. Is greater than. The old Alex would have seen this as failure. The new Alex sees it as proof the system works. Because even after a